History nonsense.
Hey, we're back. So hopefully this works this time, and I hope my internet is like solid. This is what I'm thinking. I was like, is the internet down? Who knows?
I don't know.
We were talking Scream.
Yes.
We left off with the two of you sharing your being in the theater with your parents, and then
with watching completely
inappropriate
films
films
for our age.
Okay.
And it being amazing. And my parents were very lax with their, guidelines of what I could and couldn't watch. Basically, they didn't really limit me at all. So I kind of just watched whatever. And I turned out okay, in my opinion. I'm not a serial killer, so.
I remember seeing
I'm in the same boat. I get it.
Yeah, totally.
I remember seeing Scream in the theater, I think with my sister, who is not a fan of horror films. So she was just like, this is the worst thing that you've ever done to me, taking me to see this. And I was like, this is amazing. I love this movie. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So I guess the budget for this was, again, I want to just catch everyone up that since our stream stopped, what you're talking about right now is Scream. This is our first film. This is our feature film for 6 Degrees of Feature Film. Welcome back to 6 Degrees of Feature Film. And we take one movie and we show how 6 other films link up to it. So we're starting with Scream once again, and Perri Nemiroff is here, and we're just getting right back into this conversation. So thanks for coming back or checking out our new link.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for coming. So fun and exciting.
But Scream, I think, could be one of my probably favorite horror films. Probably my favorite horror film.
Is it
I don't know.
You look like Neve Campbell?
Maybe that's why. So I just pretend to be her. Fan fiction. I'll write some fan fiction about Sidney Prescott.
Yeah, for sure.
That could be a thing.
Yeah.
Sure, it is my favorite horror film, hands down, and it's my second favorite movie of all time too.
Okay, what's the first then?
I'll let you guess.
Oh, Jurassic Park. That's right. I forgot. I heard you say that
right
one
there.
time.
This is kind of a giveaway. I can't. Oh my god! I can't look and see where I'm pointing right now. But this poster is a giveaway.
Exactly. Good.
You got it correctly.
Which are both great horror films in their own little genre. So one is like almost a parody horror film. It's a real horror film, but it is making fun of itself. And then Jurassic Park is, I guess an action movie, but with small parts of horror in it. And the main theme, the heart of it, is truly a horror film. So I like that. I like that those are both within the horror genre, but so different.
They're also both movies that my parents took me to see way too young.
Yeah.
I think Jurassic Park came out in 93, and I can't do math. I was probably like 6 or 7, and that would make my sister like 5, and we all went to see it together. And when the T-Rex breaks out of its paddock, she just got up and left. And then the rest of the movie you could turn around and see. Like, I don't know if they have it anymore, but the little like rectangular windows in the back of the theater, you could just see my dad holding my sister up in the window to watch the rest of the movie.
Because she couldn't handle it.
She's like, I can maybe see this, but just through this tiny window.
Yes,
it'll be okay.
A little bitty hole.
All right, so let's go ahead and I do want to talk about the rules, the horror film rules, which I really loved in this movie because it's just hilarious that someone like points out all the different things, that all the tropes of horror.
That's what makes it so genius.
I know.
Why it's a great horror film, because it knows it's a horror film, or knows all the rules of like the great slashers of the 70s and 80s. So I love that. That's perfect.
So the first one is you will not survive if you have sex. The second one is you will not survive if you drink or do drugs. 3, you will not survive if you say I'll be right back. Number 4, everyone is a suspect. Then there's 2 additional rules that come from the killer. Number 5, you will not survive if you ask who's there. And number 6, you will not survive if you go out to investigate a strange noise.
Never. Wait, what was that?
Yeah.
I'm gone. I'm dead. It's over.
There was that like email that went around for a while that was like, do not go outside if you think you hear a baby crying, because like someone's trying to bait you out of your house. I am not joking.
What are you talking about?
Why didn't I get this email? It's like every time I'm talking to Mark Riley, he says that he has a ghost in his apartment and he doesn't like it because crazy things happen. I'm like, why can't I have a ghost? Why can't I get creepy emails like this?
You don't want a little Casper talking to you at night?
I'm fine with it.
I want to know more. I'm gonna have to ask Mark more about this ghost at a later date and time.
It turns his TV on all the time and watches Animal Planet.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's not his dog? Are you sure that's not Cal?
It
He
might be
could probably
Cal.
do it. He's like,
We haven't quite clarified that yet, but I enjoy the idea of it being a ghost as much as I love Cal.
Now, fun fact about Perri, she named an animal after one of the characters in this movie. So we would like to see this animal.
please.
Oh.
If it's around, if it's close by.
He's here. He's here.
Oh, the
Oh,
suspense.
Oh, here he is. It's the deputy. This is Deputy
Aw.
Dewey.
Dewey.
Hi,
If you go online and you look at the hashtag Deputy Dewey on Instagram, it's more this guy than David Arquette, and I'm really proud of that.
Oh, I love
perfect.
it.
He has the biggest, beautiful blue eyes. Oh my goodness.
He does. And when I first got him, when he was a kitten, they warned me. They're like, that's probably going to change, and it never did.
Mhm.
Aw.
Yeah, he's a sweetie. I love him.
And he has a great name too.
He does. All of my family dogs are named after movies as well. We have a Gordy after Stand By Me, and Wally for obvious reasons.
Oh.
Cute. I love it.
Clearly, I have named them all. Nobody else in my family is allowed to.
You're in charge. No one else, Perri.
Damn right.
Perri, now that you're in California, are you going to go up to the Santa Rosa area to like actually see where everything was filmed in Scream?
I need to make a point to do that. The only place that I visited so far since being out here is the Nightmare on Elm Street house.
Okay.
Which did make me happy, but there's a long list of places like that I need to actually get to.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not good with driving around here yet. I can get to I grew up on Long Island, so it's not like I don't know how to drive, but like I just like to get in my car and know where I'm going. And here, if I don't have the GPS, I'm not getting anywhere
Yes.
Mhm.
except to the office and back.
Mhm.
Now there is a studio tour of Pasadena, studio driving tour of Pasadena that you can buy a MP3 or something like that, and it will tell you where to start in your car, and it will take you by Back to the Future things. It will take you by Halloween, like all the stuff from Halloween. It will take you by in South Pasadena. It's actually really cool.
I have not heard of this, and I really need to do it.
Yes,
I have
will-
not
I will-
either. Now I'm putting it on the list.
I will get you
Yeah.
guys the link to that, and I'll share it on my Twitter for anyone that's interested in the LA area that wants to drive by a lot of stuff. The House from Liar Liar, what other stuff? American Horror Stories on there. So there's a lot of different places that you can
Oh
visit.
my gosh, that's
Pretty cool.
fascinating.
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What a random list of stuff.
I know it's because it's all just like what's in Pasadena that you can see. That's from movies that you can easily drive to. It's the guy that narrates it is kind of hilarious too. Anyways, let's move on to our links because we don't
Okay.
want this show to go on for way too long because Perri has a job to do,
This is true.
unlike myself. So we're going to link it to horror films that were made. This is very loose. Horror films that were made after 1995.
Yeah.
So Scream was made in 1996. And our next film is Final Destination, which was made in 2000, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, 2000. After a teenager has a terrifying vision of him and his friends dying in a plane crash, he prevents an accident only to have death hunt them down one by one.
Death's coming for you.
It is starring Devon Sawa. What up, Devon
Devon!
Sawa? I see you on Twitter. I see you.
Oh my God. he was my first like childhood crush, like Casper and Now and Then.
I feel ya.
You know?
And Little Giants.
Little
Yeah.
Giants.
I grew up with the biggest crush on him and Ethan Embry, who we'll get to later. And now both of them follow me on Twitter, and it's just
Me
like,
too. Me
what?
too. Ethan does, but not.
oh my
So
god.
jealous. I'm so jealous.
So excited. He actually tweeted at me one day. Like I wrote something funny. I think it's my pinned tweet that I have on my Twitter right now. And he wrote back, and I was like, "Oh my God!" He did it.
I know what you
totally freaked
mean.
out. Mhm.
Nice. Mine was Mike Vitar from The Sandlot,
Oh yes.
Oh.
who I personally know now.
Yes.
So we don't need to get into that. But anyways, but that has subsided. Anyway, yeah. Final Destination. I remember seeing this in theaters. did pretty well. It cost $23 million to make, made $112 million.
That's pretty good.
At the box office, almost 113. The story was originally like a X-Files episode that they abandoned, so it kind of makes sense. Kind of could be X-Files or Twilight Zone, I think, in a sense. But yeah, and the music they played throughout the film was John Denver, which kind of is sad to me because it's like, why would you do that? I know it's about a plane crash. Like,
for those of you who don't know, John Denver died in a plane crash. He's a musician, a country singer, and he sadly passed away. So yeah, that's kind of bad that they use that, but kind of an evil genius, funny thing to do that horror films do nowadays. So, sure.
This is such an underrated franchise too, because
it's gone on for a long time.
It has.
And I wish it would go on a little longer. I don't know why they stopped, because I remember after, all right, 4 sucked, but 5 is pretty damn solid. 5 came out. Right after 5 came out, I think it was a fan trailer that started to circulate where it was Final Destination 6, and I think the subtitle was The Dark Ages or something. So it was like whatever century. And could you imagine though? That sounds like the best idea ever to me. I love that idea.
Is Final Destination the Fast and Furious franchise for horror films?
Maybe. Good declaration.
I don't know.
The thing about these movies is they just try and up the ante every time when it comes to how people die. And I love that. Like, they know that that's compelling. They know that that's the shtick or whatever. So they're like, let's put them on roller coasters. Let's kill them in tanning beds. Let's kill them with a giant thing that, like, slashes them up. Like, they're just thinking of crazier and crazier things, just like in Fast and the Furious, where they're thinking of weirder and dumber shit. Let's do cars out of a plane and have them do. How can they all land straight on a road? It makes no sense. It's still awesome, but it wouldn't have happened that way. Okay, all right, everyone calm down. Okay, everyone chill. But I love this franchise, and I love that it's such like an early 2000s movie. You know, like it has just that like sweeping thing of a neighborhood, you know, starting out. And then it has, like, you know, all the teenagers are all kind of like douchebags or whatever. And, like, something horrible happens. And there's, like, one good girl, like Clear Rivers, Allie Larder, killing it. She got a Young Hollywood Award for this, actually. She, like, won an award.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for Allie Larder. Where are you at, girlfriend? Where are you at, Allie Larder?
She's busy making Resident Evil movies.
We miss you, boo-boo. She's so pretty. Anyways, it just has that early 2000s feel to it. Like, it's cheesy, but it's taking itself very seriously. And there's a few kind of meta jokes in there, but, like, there's nothing in there that's too much like, this is dumb. We're like, it's kind of dumb, but, like, we're still awesome. Like, it's very much into itself. You know, there
is a crazy grounded quality to them, though, which is one of my favorite parts about these movies. It's like, now whenever I go to the airport, my sister always asks me this, actually. She's like, if you ever got on a flight and it was numbered 180, would you get on it? I'm like, yes, I would get it. Really? I would get on it. I would get on it.
I do check the little thing. You know what I'm talking about with the tray? I check.
Yeah, to see if the piece falls off. Or if you've seen Final Destination 2, every single time I'm on the highway, if I'm ever behind a truck with logs on it, I will go to the side. I will go around it.
Life. And I was like, nope, moving over. Which didn't happen. There's a photo of on Instagram of me just behind the truck, and I'm like, this is not, we're all going to die. We got to get out of here. I straight up diverted. I was like late to work that day. I was like, got to get around it. Can't be behind the log truck. No. And
when I was living in Manhattan, when you walk underneath, you know, like the emergency stair exit things. Oh, now I'm getting too much into Final Destination too. But when you walk underneath the ladders, because like the ladder can just fall. Yeah. That's in the beginning of 2.
Right in your head.
Yep. Right in the eyes.
Yep. For me, all these movies kind of run together. Like, I don't think of like Final Destination like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just like, it's Final Destination, and all the deaths kind of go together, and you just kind of rank them on best and worst, and it's all one little ongoing thing to me. So
it's all one ongoing thing, but let's just like pluck out the Final Destination, which was not the Final Destination because they made another movie after it. That one annoys me. I'll still watch it. I mean, if it's on, I'm not going to turn it off. But it makes me mad because it was the first one that was in 3D, and every single kill was designed for the 3D. That's not how you make a movie. You make the idea and the kills first, and then you work in the technology after. It's just, you could see that whole racetrack sequence. every single camera movement and every single car flip and every single kill, it was all designed to suit the extra dimension, and it drives me insane.
Yeah.
Ooh, something exciting's happening over here.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, guys.
Let's get into our next film that we're going to link to. So we went from Scream.
good.
We're linking it to horror films that were made after 1995. We did Final Destination, which came out in 2000. And now we're going to do Cheap Thrills, which came out March 21st, 2014. March is the release date for our links, which is kind of interesting. Who knew? Who knew? I just found out. I just watched this the other day.
It's so good.
Listen, okay, here's the first takeaway from the movie that I have for you guys. I was like, Ethan Embry's in this film. And I was like, which one is Ethan Embry? Like, I couldn't figure it out because I've only, listen, I've only seen him as a boy, like a boy in movies.
Now he's a man.
And now it's like, oh my gosh, he's a man now.
He is
I was like
a man.
really attracted to him. And then I was like, I can't watch this. And then after that, I was like, well, I'm done.
He's a man and he's a piece of shit in this movie too.
Everyone is. It was hard. It was hard. I can't do this type of horror film. I was like, nope, I can't. I watched it and I was like, I just can't do it. I can't.
See,
you know what?
like this kind of film,
Yes.
though.
Let me tell you one thing.
What?
Before I even started watching it, I looked at the keywords. Don't do this, by the way. Don't look at the keywords on IMDb.
What's keywords? I don't know what you're talking about.
Kind of like on YouTube, you put your like things at the bottom that's like the words that you want like hashtagged. It's kind of like that.
I'm looking at them right now.
Okay, so here's some things. I'm gonna put them off. So if you don't want to know them, you can turn this off. All right. So sex, cocaine, violence, dare, unfaithfulness, killing a dog, shock humor, black comedy, eviction notice, beating, masturbation, blood splatter, liquor, alcohol, blood, eating one's finger, eating a dog, cutting one's finger, human excrement, infidelity, money problems, punched in the face, loss of job, bet bar, two-word title, birthday, baby, shooting, adultery, bad taste, joblessness, defecation, satire, attempted robbery, unemployment, pills, finger chopped off, dog meat, bouncer, murder, vomit, man eating dog, severed finger, dog feces, cheating on wife, stealing money, broken glass, face slap, tipping point, money, cult film, tequila, competition, taking photo, taking photo, neighbor, safe, and extramarital affair.
Safe doesn't fit in there.
I think it's because taking the money out of the safe.
Out of the safe,
okay.
yes.
Okay, there you go.
That is hilarious. This is what I'm gonna do every single time I look up a movie. Now I'm gonna have to look at the keywords.
I always look at the trivia. I didn't know that there was this thing that exists, so I'm gonna have to do this.
That'd be a great trivia game. That should be a new Schmodown round. It should be guess the movie based on the keywords in IMDb.
Oh, that would be super hard. I feel like
really hard.
I feel like another show that I used to be in plays that, and it's really they play it by they use the parental guide. They read off the parental guide because there's people put in things about the film in the parental guide. What is the movie based on the parental guide? That's effing hard. Man, I did come up with a good Schmodown question for one of the films that we're going to be doing shortly after this. But anyways, so yeah, I couldn't do this film. I can't do torture. Torture horror is what I would consider this.
I can do it.
This is another fun one. It's another fun one because it's like mildly grounded in the fact that it'll put you in their shoes and it'll make you wonder, would I do that for a little bit of money? And things start off completely harmless at the beginning and then it just goes off the rails. But this was actually a feature directorial debut for E.L. Katz, and it premiered at South by Southwest 2014 or something, and everybody freaked out about it. I think he's working on another movie now, but I'm dying to see what else he makes. Ethan Embry is incredible in this, and if you can't handle rough and tough Ethan Embry in this, wait until the movie The Devil's Candy comes out in March of next year. Because he's like a metal rocker dad, and he's super tough, but he's super sweet, and he paints all angry. It's a great movie. But another I can't wait to read the keywords for that one. Yeah. And then Pat Healy, who deserves way more credit than he gets for everything he does. I could list off so many Pat Healy movies that are so underrated and people don't recognize that he's in it, and it's a big reason that whatever that movie is, it works. It's like here he's the lead. Carnage Park just came out. He's excellent in that. The Innkeepers. He's so good.
In Compliance, which is also like
he was.
Yes, he's also in Starry Eyes. Really good. He plays Lost.
Starry Eyes is great.
Fucking good movie. Yes. He also follows me on Twitter too.
Yeah.
Ethan and Brie. So
I'm so jealous, guys. I'm so jealous.
I want to feel everyone to feel really special for me.
Yes, we do. We do.
On Twitter. And they still do. It's not like they started and they noticed that I'm a weird person and then stopped. No, they're still hanging in there. So I'm still killing it. Still
good. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Cheap thrills, guys. Cheap thrills.
Yes.
Let's go to our links.
Okay.
Perri, would you like to go first off of Cheap Thrills, or do you want us to go first? Okay.
So do I announce like the type of link I'm doing? Is that how this works?
You
By the way, that category to get to those two movies is like the category of my life. Because Scream is what I always loved horror movies, but Scream is what turned it from a love of the genre to an obsession with the genre. So it's like from Scream and forward is kind of what defines my love of horror.
Okay.
So it was perfect, but I am going to go with the rather obvious answer and do horror games, because there's some very classic movies out there that I'm sure everybody knows, but we should still be talking about because they're fantastic. And then there's an independent movie that I love and is a lot of fun that if Cheap Thrills makes you squirm, this one will be 10 times worse. The first one, I'll go with the obvious one first, which is another horror franchise that kicked off in the 2000s, and that's Saw. The first, it's another one where I feel like the first one is now somewhat underrated just because so much garbage came after it. Although I will give Saw 5 a pass, but not the rest of them. Because
I stopped after 2 because I was just like, nope, can't do it anymore. It was the needles.
All of the other ones are not.
Do.
All the other ones are only valuable because they'll have, maybe 2 out of the 10 kills that are kind of like holy shit moments. It's really creative and really freaky. But the mythology of this series just went completely off the rails, where they had all the stuff with the cops and people teaming up, and I stopped following it all. But the first movie is just so simple, and that premise is so damn genius. And this is the movie that put James Wan and Leigh Whannell on the map. And look at all the great horror we've got from those two guys, and some great performances too. I always forget that Leigh plays Adam in the movie also, which I love every time I watch it now. But this is such an ingenious idea that, again, it's similar to Cheap Thrills. Puts you in the character's shoes, makes you wonder, I mean, life or death. Would you do something terrible, or would you just say screw it and die?
Yeah.
I live a very morbid existence, if you can't tell. I love
seeing it in the theater. I love Carrie Elways. Danny Glover does a great job in this movie. And Jigsaw, I just love that the name is Jigsaw because it has the saw, but then it also has like the jig. So therefore it's like, oh, we have puzzles. They're puzzles to solve.
And Billy the Puppet, who's kind of iconic now, and he pops up in every single one of James's movies. I mean, really, if before the existence of Saw ever happened, if someone ever came up to you and said, one of the future horror icons is going to be an itty bitty clown riding a tricycle, you'd probably laugh in their face.
I really am like going to look now in Fast and Furious and see if like the puppet's in there somewhere, just as an homage.
I don't know if it's in Fast and the Furious, but if you look in the one that's coming to mind now is one of the Insidious movies, because we were just talking about it because we were watching The Conjuring. In the first Insidious movie, Patrick Wilson plays a teacher, and Billy's drawn on the chalkboard in the back. I love looking for that stuff.
Oh, damn. That's scary, but like I love that people fit that stuff into their own films. Like their own movies into their own movies.
He's all about like puppets and dolls.
Yeah.
And he said that too on interviews. Like, I like dolls.
Have you ever seen Dead Silence?
No. Yes. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. It's got Ryan. What's his name?
Quantum? Is that his name? I don't know. He was something. He was like the hottest thing ever in True Blood, and then I don't know what happened to him after that.
Gorgeous. He's also Australian, which I did not.
Yeah. Follow you on Twitter.
Perfect. He doesn't know, and it's fine. I'm not bitter. It's it's whatever. But yeah, no, I remember Dead Silence and being terrified of this one scene where it's like underground, or like they're in like a basement, kind of like underneath like a giant mansion, and like the puppets there, and like no, lots of dolls are really scary, really scary.
They are.
Yeah.
What's the other movie that you?
All right. So movie number 2 is from David Guy Levy, and that is called Would You Rather. And it is what the title is, a whole bunch of characters. It's got Jeffrey Combs in it, and he is kind of like the mastermind of it all, and he invites people over for a party, and they basically play a game of Would You Rather, and the winner wins a ton of money. And the lead character in it is Brittany Snow, and her brother's sick, so she has a reason to want the money and to help, but it's one of those situations where, like, once you're in, you can't get out, so it gets in your head, and you're sitting there thinking, well, would I do that to get the money and to save my life? And there's some pretty damn mortifying and inventive kills here. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. It came out in 2012, and it was one of those ones where, it might have gotten a limited theatrical release, but it was mostly on VOD. And if you want to know the extent of, like, the cringiness of this movie, just Google Would You Rather and look at the poster. That's all you have to do.
Look at the keywords. And then I'll know if I should watch it.
Yeah.
The keywords for this one are probably insane.
I'm going to look that up, actually. So
You do that.
I remember when Brittany Snow was going around and, like, doing the media for this, and I really like Brittany Snow. She's one of my favorite actresses and doesn't get enough love, in my opinion.
That is true. And she's great in the Pitch Perfect movies, but those movies are kind of all about Anna Kendrick at this point, and Rebel Wilson, and she's in the background, which she shouldn't be.
Right. Yeah. I agree. All right. So Would You Rather?
Yeah. It's a must see. It's like a dinner party setting, like in a mansion, but when you hear of topics and stories like this, you normally think it's like trashy torture porn just to kind of get a reaction out of you. There's actually, characters that you care about. This isn't just gore for the sake of gore or body horror for the sake of doing it and grossing people out. It's like a really clever idea. It's very well executed. There's some incredible effects in this movie, and there's like a legit story, and there's characters that you like, which is what makes it so tense the whole way through.
Nice. Maybe I'll check the keywords first. Then I will decide if I'm going to watch it.
I will watch it because
I know you will.
I'm a brave little toaster, and I will watch any movies. All right, let's go to our links.
Let's go to our links off of Final Destination. We went from Scream, then we did horror movies made after 1995 with Final Destination, as well as Cheap Thrills. And off of Cheap Thrills, Perri did horror game movies with Saw, as well as Would You Rather. Yeah. And now we're going off of Final Destination. Yes. And we're going to do horror films released in 2000.
Yes, just in the year 2000.
Just in the year 2000. I
haven't thought about that in forever.
I know. So I'm going to start with Scream 3. Which came out February 4th, 2000. This is probably the first Scream that I owned on DVD, because I think I owned the Scream 1 on VHS, possibly.
Probably.
I probably did. And then this I bought on. I didn't get the second one because I didn't like the second one as much as I like 1, then 3, then 2. That's my order. So there you go.
She goes out of order.
I go out of order when I watch things. I watched this in order because it was like, it made, I was old enough that I wanted to see everything. So anyways, this is the third one. While Sydney and her friends visit the Hollywood set of Stab 3, the third film based on the Woodsboro murders, a new ghost face begins to terrorize them once again. This thing I didn't like about this is mostly because she's not in it. Sydney, it's like more about everyone else, which is, okay, but it's not about her. So that kind of sucks. But it is about her, but it's not about her. So it's frustrating, but I love.
It's probably more so of an ensemble movie compared to the last two, where the last two they were fully her story. It's like here, it's her story. A lot of it is her story because it's actually. All right, I love this movie. I'll watch it over and over. The one part of this movie that I don't like is the weird ghosty stuff they do with her mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, like especially the scene on the set in the house. That one rubs me the wrong way all the time. But it's also a lot about Courtney Cox and David Arquette and their journey. And they're kind of off on two different missions for a good part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. I do like that Patrick Warburton is in this film because Patrick Warburton is my spirit animal in a way. Yeah. I'm a mumble. I'm a mumble. I'm gonna say it like that. That's how I'm saying it.
Okay.
So there you go.
Oh.
Parker Posey gets a great kill scene in that movie. That's one of, when I'm ranking, I rank them all Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, but I love them all. Kill scenes, though, I will say she gets one of the best death scenes in the entire franchise. I love that part.
I love that she's wearing the green suit that Courtney Cox's character wears in the first movie. I think
like that too.
That's a nice little.
And I just like how it plays with Hollywood and sets, and like that you see the sets that are of the homes that they used in the first film, which, maybe Healdsburg was like, don't come back after the first movie.
Maybe. Don't destroy this house anymore. We have seen too much blood and violence.
You're gonna have to make a set now, because you know what? No
more. I like that there was a bunch of different guys they were going, or that considered for the role, like Paul Walker. Rip Paul Walker, Josh Hartnett
for the Scott Foley
Tom Prince.
Okay.
Josh Hartnett, James Vanderbeek, and Jonathan L. Jackson were considered for the role of Tom Prince. So Paul Walker, for those of you that haven't seen Tammy and the T-Rex, it is an
we talk about this.
an unsung hero. Him and Denise Richards.
He becomes a T-Rex.
Let's just talk about Paul Walker for a second, everyone. Tammy and the T-Rex. Paul Walker dies. He's mauled by a lion. His brain gets put into a mechanical robot T-Rex with little bitty arms and a giant T-Rex body, as any T-Rex is.
But he's not supposed to be mechanical. He's supposed to be a real T-Rex.
No, they use like a mechanical machine. Okay. I actually don't even remember the plot of the movie, but just watch Tammy and the T-Rex. It's amazing.
Just watch the trailer.
I think someone needs to look up the keywords for that movie.
Yes, please look up the keywords for Tammy and the T-Rex.
Hashtag keywords.
That's going to be on my tombstone. Is the keywords to Tammy and the T-Rex are great. It's beautiful movie.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, sorry.
All right,
anyway,
Scream 3.
Go back to Scream 3. Okay.
I just had like one last thing, and two last things. Scott Foley, this was his feature film debut, coming over from Felicity, and the song "Red Right Hand" is played in all three movies. I don't know if it's in the fourth. It just said all three, so don't know.
I can't remember.
But I think that's interesting. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So that's it. Scream 3.
There you go. Cool. Mine is one of my favorite movies of all time. Is it a horror film? Is it a dark comedy?
I would call it a horror.
It's gory. It's definitely gory. It's definitely dark comedy. Definitely a commentary on life in the 80s. American Psycho.
Okay, good.
On people. Okay, so even though it seems like a 90s film, it was released in 2000. A wealthy New York investment banker executive hides his alternate psychopathic ego from his coworkers and friends as he delves deeper into his violent, hedonistic fantasies. So obviously it stars Christian Bale, Justin Theroux, Josh Lucas, Chloe Sevigny, Reese Witherspoon, Samantha Mathis, Matt Ross, Jared Leto, Willem Dafoe. So many amazing people. Did you know that Leonardo DiCaprio was going to be Christian Bale's role, and then Gloria Steinem was like, "You can't do that. Your fan base is weird. Like young teenage girls. They're gonna freak out if they see you abusing women, murder. You can't do that. It's gonna be a career killer." So he was like, "Okay."
But Christian Bale can.
Christian Bale can, because he's Christian Bale.
Oh my gosh, he was only 26 when he filmed this. 26 years old.
Wow.
I know, because he's 27 in the movie, but he was 26 when he filmed it.
That's true.
So I saw this movie. It was on a TV. I was I was like house sitting, and it was on television. I had turned it on right at the part where it's like the girl is discovering bodies and stuff, and I was just like, and then the chainsaw, and I was like, I am done. I don't know what this movie is. I cannot watch it. I was so horrified. And so then I went back and watched it 2 days ago for the first time, because you said you were going to talk about it. I was like, I should probably watch this movie.
It's so good.
I really liked it.
It's amazing.
I was shocked.
let's talk about the chainsaw scene for a second, because Christian Bale, in his gorgeous body, is running in like white New Balance tennis shoes.
That's what you
with
do
socks.
when you row run.
It is great. So he like took the time to stop, put on some tennis shoes,
Yes.
didn't need clothes. Taggle is just swinging everywhere, okay? With a chainsaw, and it's just like, and it's just
because you need
running
shoes.
through
You
his
do
apartment.
need shoes.
You need shoes. You can step on glass. Everyone, be safe, okay? Be safe. Everything about this movie is amazing. The soundtrack is incredible. Which what cost the most in the film was the rights to all these songs, and a lot of them, which they really wanted, that were in the book that Bret Easton Ellis, is that his name?
Yeah.
Wrote the book. They wanted for the movie, but they couldn't get, because it was just too expensive. So they had to use things like "Walking on Sunshine" instead of some other, like, I forgot what song they were using instead of that. But so many incredible songs, and they were so integral to the plot of this film and to every moment that makes it really creepy. Like he's playing, Hip to Be Square, as he's like dancing and killing Jared Leto.
And he improv that dance.
He did improv that dance. Mary Herron, who's the director of this film, who also directed this great film, if you guys haven't seen it, it's called the Notorious Bettie Page, about, Bettie Page, the famous like kind of pinup. And she also directed like 6 Feet Under, a few episodes, The L Word, and she also directed a TV series called 6 Degrees.
What?
So there you go. Hello. Name shout out. Was just saying that they were filming that scene, and she didn't tell him to do anything, and then he just started dancing, and she just started uncontrollably laughing because she couldn't.
I would too. I did.
She was like, "What is happening? What are you doing?" And then it ended up being a brilliant, because it's so violent that I feel like you have to put a humor to it, otherwise you wouldn't be able to swallow it. But because it's like this crazy, outlandish scene, it almost doesn't seem real, So like, I know it's a movie, it's not real, but it helps you swallow the violence and take it in, because it's this weird little,
It's also very well shot. It's like, this is disturbing, crazy stuff, but it's all kind of beautiful.
Yes.
I can't remember any other Bret Easton Ellis adaptation since that I like.
Yeah, he's crazy.
But maybe I feel like there has to be something I'm just forgetting, but his stuff is not particularly easy to adapt to screen. And the fact that this is the only one that I think that's coming to mind right now that I really love and can watch and rewatch. Talking about it now makes me want to rewatch the movie, reread the book, and listen to the soundtrack.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Triple threat there.
Yeah.
Hey, so here's the Schmodown questions I've come up with.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
What is Patrick Bateman's favorite musical?
Les Mis?
Yes, it is. Because he has the poster, and then he tells the girl, like, I can't go there. I'm going to Les Mis that night.
I have a matinee showing of Les Mis.
And then, then here's another one that I came up with. Name 2 out of the 3 musical artists or groups that he is obsessed with and talks about.
Whitney Houston. Okay.
Yeah. You just said one before.
Yeah, I know. Phil Collins.
Yes, but what group is Phil Collins in? Because he wasn't talking specifically about Phil Collins.
What's the name of the group? It's not Oasis.
No.
Journey. Genesis.
I feel like that was like what's that sketch in SNL where Kristen Wiig and what's his face are like kind of repeating what each other say. We're having like that's like what I just witnessed right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally
Genesis and Huey Lewis in the News, which you just said before. So those are the 3 that he talks about.
Yes.
That's what I've come up with.
I love his mom.
You slip those questions to Christian, and then let's make sure it happens when I'm on the show.
There you go.
So I can actually win.
Are you gonna do it? Are you going up? Are you doing
I don't know.
You bet.
There's a lot of peer pressure happening right now, but I'm not very good.
Do it.
I like to prepare my like debate arguments. I don't like to be on the spot and I'm gonna freeze up and then I'm gonna feel stupid. I'm also very competitive. I like to win, and I don't think I'd win. There's so many people in that office who know so many crazy movie facts.
It is insane how movie versed everyone is, but it makes sense.
Yep.
Now I have a lot of trivia for this movie, but I'll just go over a few things. Okay, I need to talk about the fact that Christian Bale based his character of Patrick Bateman off Tom Cruise in an interview he did. So okay, I just need to read this.
That was a good one.
Its entirety. Looking for a way to create the character of Patrick Bateman, Christian Bale stumbled on a Tom Cruise appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman in '93. According to the director, Bale saw that Cruise had this very intense friendliness with nothing behind the eyes. That's a perfect description of Tom Cruise right there. Just
And Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, and Patrick Bateman. Intensely polite. Well-timed laughter, everyone. And just nothing behind the eyes at all. No soul. And it's so, so perfect. So perfect. Okay, cool. Hold on. Wait. Okay.
People like to say also that this is the movie where Batman kills the Joker. Ha
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Also, to block the three-way sex scene with the two prostitutes, the director and Christian Bale watched X-rated tapes, and then Christian Bale drew little stick figure drawings of what he wanted for the sex scene. So that would be a great, what's it called? Auction item is to buy Christian Bale's stick figure drawings for the three-way sex scene in American Psycho. I would spend all of my money on that. I would give my entire life savings to have those just framed in my house and everyone see them. The whoosh sound during the famous business card scene was created by slowing down a sword being drawn from its sheath.
I don't think anyone has ever rang my doorbell. Ever.
Really
since I moved in. I'm not kidding.
Well, don't go see who it is.
No, don't say who's there.
That's rule number 3. Don't say who's there.
I don't plan on answering the door, that's for sure.
No. It's probably just a package. Did you order something on Amazon?
Very likely.
Probably. So that's American Psycho. Oh,
They really want you.
You might
they
need to
really
go
want
answer
you.
that. I don't know, Perry.
We'll see. If it's a third one,
yeah,
then we'll excuse you for a moment.
Okay.
We go over some movie link tweets.
Dewey will take over for me. He's sitting in the chair right behind me, actually.
So
Yeah, so those are my movies. So what are all the movies that we talked about today? Let's go over.
We started with Scream. Then we went to movies that were made, or horror films that were made after 1995. And we went to Final Destination as well as Cheap Thrills. Off of Cheap Thrills, Perry did horror games in movies and went with Would You Rather as well as Saw. And then off of Final Destination, we did horror movies that were released in 2000. You did American Psycho, and I did Scream 3.
Yeah.
So there we go. Those are all of our films.
There you go.
Hooray. And now we're making a heart.
Touch.
And now we are.
That's a good little, we got a pause there right there. Take a little snapshot.
Okay. And now we're going on to movie link tweets. So I tweeted out, I actually botched this. I should have said, what's your favorite horror film that was made after 1995? But instead I said 1999. So sorry, everyone. I did it wrong.
It's fine.
Okay, here we go. Benjamin McElroy says, 28 days later, Randall Sands, The Descent. Matt Marshall, April Dawn, Mark Tordai say It Follows. Lucas and Mark Freeman say Cabin in the Woods. Gregory says The Conjuring. Shane Clifford says Evil Dead. Scott Lynch, Let the Right One In. Cameron Rice and Stephen Malofsky say The Mist. Brian Hurst says Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Yes.
Eric Monroe says The Babadook. The Dude says Signs. Let's see. Zombie Obed says Lights Out.
Ooh, good choice.
Let's
Love
see.
Lights Out and Don't Breathe.
Mr. Tusk says The Ring. Joe Russell says Drag Me to Hell. And Delicia Russell says Final Destination.
Hey.
All right.
There you go.
So there it is.
Cool. And of course,
this one should be easy to link it to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon was in Wild Things with Neve Campbell, who was in Scream. So there you go. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of feature films, so many fun things. Oh my gosh, what a fun podcast. We don't have to do this last part, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Ah, dang it. Okay.
That's the only reason I came on. I just wanted to hear this last one happen.
All right.
Okay, so
now it is time for Better with Rocky, where we ask, would Scream be better with Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, as Randy, performed by Stacey Howard right now?
Okay. The police are always on track with this shit. If they'd watch Prom Night, they'd see time. There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Yo! There you go. Did you? Oh, everybody's a suspect!
There you go.
That's the line.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Stacey.
All right, guys. Okay.
Thank you, Perry, for joining us
Thank you for having me.
Why?
Especially, yeah, really. Especially for this episode. This episode was made for me.
Yes.
It was.
Post 95 horror. Thank you.
Yeah.
Technically, it was made for you because
Yep.
when we ask people on, we know what they like.
This is
Smart choice.
Stalk them.
That's true.
And I was like, ooh, Halloween time.
Yeah.
And if you guys never hear from me ever again, it's because there's a murderer outside my door right now.
Okay.
I wished ghosts and evil entities upon myself, and it's right out there now.
If you open that door, you can't close it, okay?
It's probably some election person. Like,
I was gonna say.
Blah, 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 blah. Vote this on prep this. I hate elections. Whatever. I'm voting. I already voted. Whatever.
Okay. Hashtag rock the vote.
Perri, where can everyone find you?
You guys can all find me on Twitter and Instagram at Perri Nemiroff. I write for Collider.com, and I'm on the Collider Videos YouTube channel. And if you like horror, go check out Collider Nightmares every Tuesday.
Yeah.
We do. Stacy more than I do because you'll go with the torture stuff, and I'm like, I don't know.
I truly live for horror films, and I love to be scared. And I am a secretly violent person, just like Tom Cruise. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at SOHoward2012 and Instagram at Stacey O. Howard. Where can we find you?
You can find me debating whether I should have dressed up like Basic Instinct this morning or if I should have gone with the Star Wars Millennium Falcon, which is what I ended up doing.
Going commando?
No. I mean wearing the white dress and pulling my hair back because I was like, oh, it's Halloween. Maybe I should do that. And we're doing horror films. I didn't do it. Maybe I'll do it another time. That's going to be one of my, I did pictures of stills of movies. That's going to be my next one. One of them is the Basic Instinct. And just nothing crazy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And you can find me on Twitter at Miss Movies all day, every day.
Yeah. What a fun episode we had today.
Yes. Thank you, Perri.
Thanks.
That was fun. Thank you.
We love you, boo-boo.
All right, everyone. Okay. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. Bye. 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 Bye.